It's so important to have high quality, high integrity, doing things with responsibility and respect to make sure that you're giving the best outcome to your clients. We've got some experts here. They've got some experience with this. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show on ABC now. We're on 5 times a week. The demand has been wonderful because there's so many good small businesses in our area that are doing wonderful work to really impact our community. And with that, we bring in experts like we have here today. Roeser Home Remodeling, premier home remodeling company in St. Louis. Roeser, it's Roeser, construction.com, 314-822-0839. We have Cindy Roeser in the building, and the CEO, who's been there for 30 years now, Mark Talley, and have spent a few minutes here hanging out with us. We had another half an hour discussion here to start off the show. But if you missed that, check it out. Everything. If you missed it when this airs on ABC, we're on, like I said, 5 times a week. We can watch all of our shows on our YouTube channel, which is linked off of yourlittlecastle.com. You can watch it. Start playing right at the front of the website for you. But let's go back here. I had a question I wanted to make sure we covered. Cindy, but tell me why this is important to you, and Mark, you too, but the benefits of working with a small business like yourselves versus the big corporate guys who have 17 locations, and what's the difference there? Why do you think what you bring to the table?
Well, it's more of a service oriented, I think. It's more boutique-ish, or, we're there to service our clients. We're easy to get a hold of. All our project managers, our clients have their phone numbers. I think it all is service.
Yeah, more personal, more closely connected to make sure that this thing turns out the way they want it to.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the small business aspect of it, like even in the office, there's not much anybody can do without somebody else knowing you're doing something.
Okay.
And it's easy to collaborate for our clients, so we can easily go to the designer, the drafts person, sales, all can just collaborate real quick on any issue or any ideas. I mean, it's just a small environment, so it's real easy to maintain that. I think that's important. Not only that, then also it carries on into the field. We aren't super big, so we're a smaller company, so our thoughts and our values can transfer over pretty easily.
Right. And we meet once a month as a company, really early in the morning, and so we're always connected with each other so that we don't lose that.
Yeah, that would seem to me a matter of if there's ever an issue, you don't have to go up 7 levels to the vice president who talks to the senior regional person and talks to, and it's something that issues are addressed immediately if necessary. Right. And it got, like you said, a lot of times the homeowner will have the cell phone of the.
Well, we empower our employees to, they can make decisions for themselves. If there's an issue, they can resolve it, and we'll stand behind them. We always encourage them, they can come to us to resolve an issue, but they're good people. They know what they're doing. They're professionals, and we back them 100%. So if they need to take care of something for a client, they have our permission. They know that.
Yeah.
There you go. Well said.
And they do. They do take care of things. And we always tell our clients, you'll have the project manager's cell phone number, and he will know what's going on in your job the most. But you are always welcome to call the office or talk to any of us. We don't. You can talk to Joe, you can talk to Mark, you can talk to Delaney, whoever.
Okay. The crew is there and responsive. Mm-hmm. With that, then, talk to me about what's the biggest mistake you see the average homeowner makes when they're making a decision like this? Is it taking the lowest bid, or what do you see the biggest mistake that somebody makes very often?
I see 2. You might see differently, but I see 2. One is rushing through it, wanting it done too quickly, too fast, not thinking it through, not getting your ducks in a row, so to speak. If they rush into stuff, then mistakes are made and bad decisions happen, and there's a lot of regret. And then the second would be deciding strictly on price.
Yeah. Don't always go for that lowest bid. That's going
Right.
to be something that
Sometimes the lowest bid might be the best bid, but it rarely is not. You know, it rarely is not.
Yeah, makes sense. Mark,
I would say,
what the
you know,
biggest mistake?
what I experience the most or see a lot happen is, you know, we spend a lot of time in our design and getting things organized and thought through, drawn out, contract made, and all this stuff, and then people want to start changing a thought. You know, I want purple countertops instead of pink or something. That's not really the case, but you know, but
Could happen.
when you start changing something after things are already orchestrated, it's going to affect something else that you're not thinking about down the line, and it can kind of start snowballing. Once you get that game plan, trust it, go with it. It's what you liked, and I think that's something I see happen sometimes when all of a sudden it starts to unravel. Stick with it. We already gone through the process.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you want to make sure stick with the plan. All right, you've got a plan. You spent time. The plan has been proven. Why not stick with what you've
Right.
created to start with? Residential versus commercial. What do you like about each, and how much of each do you guys do?
We do. We basically do just residential.
Okay.
We don't do commercial
Okay.
too much.
Yeah, you can say we do not do commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean we haven't done something to help a business owner or something like
Right.
that, a friend of ours or something like that, but it's not really a big project, you know. So residential.
Yeah. So what do you like about
exclusively.
residential then?
It's personal, you know, and working in somebody's home, it's personal. Again, you get attached to the homeowners, their families, their kids, and you're making their home. You're creating their home, their space, their place they're going to grow, and build memories, you know. And so it's personal.
Yeah. It's building memories.
Building memories. Yes, this is where the family raises their kids and remembers playing baseball in the backyard. I still go to Mom's house sometime. I can see Dad used to hit me ground balls back there, and fly
Yeah.
balls over there.
Yeah.
But those are the memories that create families. Good memories for families. What do you guys like about the St. Louis market, and what St. Louis brings to the table as far as who you're dealing with and the types of clients you have that come out of St. Louis?
I've lived here my whole life, basically, so I don't know about any other place, but we have had experiences that where the community has lifted us up and brought us together, and I just can't imagine living anywhere else.
You've had times where you've experienced the
The
generosity.
generosity
and just the
of
support from the
people
community.
and the love and support and so I can't imagine being anywhere else. I wouldn't want
Makes
to live
sense.
anywhere else.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, St. Louis is a small town, so it's a unique town.
Yeah.
You know, where'd you go to high school?
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, a lot of our trades we're loyal relationships, and it's just a loyal town.
And I love that we have so many free things for families. It's very family friendly. You know, there are lots of opportunities that we have kids on the East Coast, and they pay a lot for their art museums and their theaters and their zoos, and we can always find a day where you can go free. So the opportunities are wonderful for families.
That's interesting. Yeah, I know. Apparently, St. Louis has the second best. Back in the day, it might be number one now. Zoo in the country,
Right.
And the number one zoo is like $50 to get in.
Yeah.
So
Number one park with Forest Park.
Is that the number one park in the country? Yeah, it's just
The largest.
a lot of
Yeah.
what we brought to the community here, and it can be shared, and is what we get to benefit from. Tell me a time though, as you can imagine, we love to hear these stories about how you kind of conquered a tough situation, but you had a client that might have been left in a difficult situation. Maybe somebody didn't finish a job, but you helped them to get through it and really came through for somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are really sticky situations, and I'm sure if you've talked to other contractors, that's usually not a situation you like to touch because
Right.
it becomes a finger pointing game.
Yeah.
You know, but we had a friend that's neighbor was in a situation like that, and so she asked us to please help her, and we did.
Yeah, we've actually had a client that did not choose Roeser initially,
Okay.
and went down a different road, and then it wasn't working out, and called us back, and those are the same thing.
Yeah.
You kind of want to stay away, but you just got to draw some sort of boundaries or starting point of what's our responsibility, what's somebody else's. Again, we're warranting our work, so if you're going in on top of somebody else, it's hard to warranty things. But anyways, yeah. But
And permitting is involved, so it's hard to get it, different trades are involved, it's just.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to put your feelings aside and help somebody out, and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with helping somebody out.
And coming through for them, and obviously with what you guys have done for 40 years now, 30 years with you at the helm or part of the company, it makes you feel good. You've got that confidence. You can speak to this because you've been doing it for so long, and you've got the backing of Cindy and her husband too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yep.
Well said, and important for us to understand. Business owner, if you're going to be successful, go for the long haul. Don't take the shortcuts or the quick, easy money. Get something where you can really help somebody and establish yourself with integrity.
Yeah.
Tell me a time when you guys had a tough situation where you learned something that kind of came out of nowhere. We all have those tough situations where we have to figure out, well, we didn't see that coming, but hey, made us stronger. We bounced back. You've talked about grit is what really has helped you to sustain yourself. You mentioned the first show.
Well, we just came out of a very tough situation. Brandy, who you mentioned, was our designer, and she was our daughter, and we lost her to cancer.
Oh.
And so Mark really, he stepped in and, let us do what we had to do. Our son-in-law also works for us. So, but that's what I mean, the love of the community, the love of our clients, the love of our trades. They all stepped forward and we got through it and continue to get through it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's a tough one. I've personally
Yeah.
been through that myself with somebody very close to me whose sister passed from cancer. And
Yeah.
it is a very difficult situation.
It is.
And it
And
can stretch and cause all kinds of, but sounds like you have a good, strong support group to help you guys through
we
it.
do. Our team members were the best, and our community. I don't think there was a church of any denomination not praying for her, and she felt that. So yeah, it was good. It was all good. That's why I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
There we go. Great community coming together here
It
in St.
is.
Louis. It does wonderful things, and that's exciting to see.
Right.
We like to partake in that. So if you know anybody who has done some good work, last weekend we had a show sponsored for a company called an organization called Hope, and they aired. So if you know anybody who has a charity, sometimes we'll put them in here too, because there's a lot of charitable organizations that do good work in our community. And with that, we were down at Patios, and I got to run into my buddy Nino, who you can tell has got special, we say superpowers, because you can tell he's been through a lot, and he's here where the rest of us crumble. Nino's out there kicking and having a blast and enjoying his input on our little plant here. So enjoy that, and we'll be back here in just a minute. Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah. He loves baseball. Hey, all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow, Nino, how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. We've been coming since Old Bush. Now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. It's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up.
By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. There we have it, everybody, talking about war stories and some of the craziness that many of us, we've all gone through something in life.
Yeah,
if you haven't been through some challenge in life, then you haven't lived, and it will happen. But you're going to bounce back. You can always get through it. Never give up. Let's talk a little bit about, though, my endeavors led me to my mom. They said, Carter, you're always out in the public. You always got people. Your people watching you. I said, why do you want that? I said, well, I figured my mom's always going to be watching me anyway. She was always making sure I was on path, not doing anything out of line. Anyway, so might as well just do something that's going to benefit everybody, because mom would be watching me anyway. But that led to the whole lot of connection with the media and technology and all of those things that we all know and love these days, and they change the way the world functions. But with that, I've got my book that we wrote the foreword for here. I wrote the introduction. It's called Magnetized Media. It's a #1 seller on Amazon. You can see they did take my picture and put it inside this little. That's the only picture you'll see of me in the whole book, though, I promise. But they had to have a headshot, they call it. And we share a little bit about how media changes the world. Technology has changed the world. But give me a little bit of the feedback. You've been doing this since you were in your teens, apparently, or maybe younger. 40 years of doing this, 30 years for you, Mark.
Yeah.
How have you seen the technology changed over the years?
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, when we started out and when I used to type contracts, it was on a typewriter with carbon paper, so
Right?
it's been a while.
Yeah, we were joking around earlier today about when I started, they still had to hit me on my hip to get me to. There was
With a
no
pager.
cell phone. I had a pager.
Okay.
And you had to find
Hold on.
I had to find a payphone to call in to find out what they needed me
Yeah.
to go do or whatever. So, cell phones, the whole computer industry. I mean, now we're on an app. Our field, it runs off an app, and all the information, all the documents. There's no paper documents anymore. It's all on a computer. Everything, schedules are on computer. I used to have a binder in my truck for each job, you know, and that's all gone.
We
now,
were talking
so.
about on the way out here that Joe used to run maps and then highlight it for him to drive.
Yeah.
I
Street
said,
guy,
yeah, he
street
still
guy,
does.
yeah.
He still does.
But the nice thing is though, like if for some reason I don't do my job well and didn't prepare the folder well enough for them, the digital folder, they need information. It can be imported up there in a matter of a second. It's just a phone call or an email or a text. Say, hey, do we have this information? I can put it on there and they'll have it within a minute. You know, and that there's a lot of nice advances in technology.
Yeah, I was just saying these days, communication. My undergrad is in communications and mass marketing, and I just realized that communication is so critical. I mean, if you ever trace back the source of a problem, it's usually because there was some breakdown in the communication,
Right.
something that didn't get, and both people were doing their job, and both people were on the ball, except something changed and the communication wasn't there, so
Right.
that causes big problems.
And that's what I miss some, is because now people want you to communicate with them through email, and I like to talk to people and, you know, get a feeling for them, but they would rather not
Right.
talk as much. So I miss that a little bit, but it is nice because then you always have documentation of when you talked to them, what you talked about, and you know, so.
No, we
That's-
did give you that bid. Here's the difference. And
Yeah.
it's okay. We'll take
Yeah.
care of it. We want to show
Do you
you.
remember we talked about this? And they're like, oh yeah. You know, so, but I do miss just a phone call once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's get to know each other a little
Yeah.
bit, but that's changed the way we do things these days.
That's right.
What are some of the mistakes you see the other companies make? Obviously, we're not naming companies, but
Yeah.
I think we talked about that during our break. We kind of review questions, and you said, "Oh, I can tell you some things that have happened that you wouldn't believe these even happened." But you even have worked with your team to make sure here's things we want to make sure don't happen.
Right.
I don't typically like to talk about other businesses
No.
because you don't know what they went through and why something happened
Right.
or why something is the way it is. You know, who knows? It could have been raining cats and dogs one day, and so there's something happened the way it happened. I don't know, but I think one of the things I do see though is that sometimes businesses don't stand behind their product or stand behind what they say they're going to do. So when an issue comes up, they wash their hands of it
Right.
and leave the homeowner, the client, high and dry.
Yeah.
And they spent all the, you know, even if they spent 3/4 of what they would have paid Roeser to do it, they're left high and dry with the situation. And I just feel like that's just not right, you know. So that's one thing I would say maybe I see happen from time to time.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, make sure don't leave your clients high or dry. Even if it was something they might have messed up, you can still come to a resolution to not leave
Sure.
them there.
And I mean, we make mistakes. We're human, and our trades make mistakes. They're human. It's how you take care of it. You know, we had a client we had a mistake with, and then we finished his bathroom, and then a year and a half later they moved to another house, and he called us again, and I go, "You're going to call us again?" And he goes, "Yeah, because you took care of everything."
Right.
I said, with the mistake, you know, with the problems we had, and he goes, "Yeah, but you came back and you took care of it. That's all that matters. That's a good company." So
Or
I'm
sometimes,
like, okay.
it
Yeah.
may not even be something that was caused by us, but we were in the house working, so sometimes there's a relation that maybe we caused something.
Yeah.
We still need to dig into it and prove that it wasn't something, you know, or whatever, and just take care of the client, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to follow up.
Get the issue resolved.
Yeah.
And those are important components of running any business. So
Right.
tell me the process then. I've got your guys' website up here. I'm going to put up on the wall so people can see. If you go to ROESER construction.com, there it is. I can put that up on the wall for everybody so they can see that. But yeah, you go right here. You can call direct right there, that 314-822-0839, or they can click right here, contact us today. This takes us to the contact page. Fill a little form here, and then you've got a good idea of what people are looking for. What happens after that? What's the process after that?
Well, then I'm usually the one who calls them.
Okay.
So if you haven't gotten a call right away, it's my fault. Yeah, so I usually call them and get the information and set an appointment or talk about budgets or try to help educate them a little bit because prices are crazy right now, you know.
Yeah. And did I say Rosen? It's Roeser,
Roeser.
not an N
Yeah.
on there if I mess that up.
Yeah.
but Roeser, and boy, it comes out looking like a rose. How about that?
There
right?
you
There
go.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
beautiful like that. So make sure we remember that. That's the process. Then you get involved.
Well, so she'll schedule an appointment. Yes, I'll come out to the house, look at the project, meet you, find out what your needs are, take some measurements, some pictures, whatever. Then we'll come back to the office in about 2 to 4 weeks. We hope to have you into the office to sit down and to go over our design agreement, which is basically a contract that lists out what it would take to do a certain scope of work and a budget range. Okay, and then if you want to jump into our design process, we ask for 4% of the projected budget to do our design work.
Okay.
So we do all that up front. We'll do a floor plan that we'll maintain until we're in design, but all that just as gratis as part of who we are. And then we'll go through the design process, which is finalizing any design and thoughts, all our selections, all our trade walkthrough, so we get a good solid bids from all our trades based upon the scope of work and the selections that are made. We'll put together 3D drawings, have a nice presentation. We'll formulate a construction contract. The construction contract is a fixed cost. And then when you move into construction with us, then you get into the pipeline we have a little bit of a backlog right now, but that's not always the case. And then we would assign a project manager to the job, and then they would run it from there for the production portion of it.
There you go. So professionals that have a process. There's a system to this, everybody. You want to make sure you're doing it right. With that, we got about about 2 minutes left here. What is the biggest objection people have, biggest question that they have before they get started? Is it always price, or how quickly can it be done, or holy cow, why are you so much better than everybody?
Yeah. No, they don't usually ask that, do they?
What?
Why we're so much better than, or more
No,
expensive,
usually
or how
it's
much
time.
better?
I mean,
It's
money's
usually-
always a discussion, obviously, but it's how long will it take and when can you start?
Yeah,
Okay.
You know, that's
and price
and
is
that's
always,
fair. You know.
Yeah,
Okay. And those are the important factors that will attribute any project that somebody's
Sure.
working on.
Yeah.
What then ultimately gives you guys the most satisfaction for what you guys are doing here?
our clients coming back again and again for new projects and stuff, being happy with us. We see them around town and they give us hugs, and we've made their life better in some way. So
The smile you put on their face.
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
you enjoy seeing, Mark?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I also enjoy our satisfaction from our crews and guys too. We're award winners year after year after year. It's nice to send them out to the award ceremony and see the smile on their face and kind of hold it up, kind of like a Grammy award or
their
something
pride,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's important. It's important.
Well said. You guys do have a couple organizations that are close to your heart. Do you want to mention
Mm-hmm.
a couple of those?
Pianos for People, we are involved with. Special Olympics, Kirk Care and K Care at Kirkwood High are through the Kirkwood School District. They feed kids on weekends. I think 3 meals and 2 snacks a day. That's important to us. Our church.
Cancer Society.
Oh yeah, the cancer support community that helped Brandy. We always support Steps for Hope. So
Stay tuned, everybody, to your little castle
Yeah.
show. Giddy up.